guys, this is Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, bringing you the January 2019 faves! Yay! And I don't know if you can hear, but it's really coming down outside. It is raining really hard, so we'll have a little bit of a rainy video here. I like that in my semi-bullet journal that I keep, I have at least listed the decks, you know, that I got in January, that I've been using in January, that I loved in January, and some decks that I didn't get in January, but I used them, I love them, and they are a fave. So let's jump into it. The first thing I want to jump into is like oils, like little oil mixes and things like that. And so the very first one is the Tree Guardian oil from the Witch's Moon. So this, I can't remember what box this came in. This probably came in a few months ago, but it has such a earthy smell to it that I've been using this actually for like kind of like a protection oil, I guess, to have some of that earth, like grounding, like protected by like good strong, like I think of like sturdy like redwoods and huge trees like that with like roots that just go on forever, and I feel like that just is a physical reminder of like my protection. So I put like a little bit on each shoulder, like dust your shoulder off. So it's like, I don't know, my shoulder pads, I guess, so I just put like a little dab, every morning and every night. I just, put it on my shoulder. And of course, I wear my perfumes and everything like that. But yeah, one of my faves for January was this Tree Guardian oil by the Witch's Moon, and you might want to check out their shop. They sell like all sorts of stuff. Some of the stuff that they have in their Witch's Moon boxes they don't sell in their shop because it's exclusive to their subscription boxes. However, I don't know, maybe you can check and see if they have any of this Tree Guardian oil, because I think it is wonderful. Okay, another oil I've been loving is actually, it's called Kawaii Rain, and it has a very like fresh, it does smell like the ocean, kind of like this fresh like ocean breeze smell to it, and I'm in San Diego, grew up in San Diego, so I'm very much a part of the beach. The smell of sunblock is almost like a perfume around here. So yeah, actually, of all my scents, Wally, my puma, my kitten, this is his favorite scent, is this Kawaii Rain. And if you're wondering where I get this, there is a shop called the Aroma Store. So go to the aromastore.com, AROMASTORE.com. And there's actually, coincidentally, one of the owners of the shop, his name is Wally. So so not my Wally, different Wally, very nice man. But I get a lot of my essential oils and a lot of just like perfume oils. My skin isn't very sensitive, so I don't mind putting oil directly on my skin, but for some people you may want to dilute this and turn this into like a toilet, if you wanted to, put it in like a spray bottle or something like that. But my fave has been Kawaii Rain. I've had this for a while, but I've been really feeling, I don't know, the beachy vibes, which is interesting because all it's been doing is like raining, and then it was like burning hot, and then it was like raining, and now it's cold, and like that really like hurts my head, because when the humidity goes up and down like that, and the pressure, yeah, it's crazy. But I don't know, I've been feeling the mermaid vibes, the beachy vibes lately. And another oil is not an oil you can get anywhere, because I made this oil. So what's in here are torn apart rose petals from the roses in my garden. There are lavender buds in here. I have, for my base oil, I used sunflower oil. I just kind of really like that as a base, as far as like scent goes and everything. So there's sunflower oil in here. I have rose essential oil, lavender essential oil in here, and just a hint of like a top note of like geranium rose oil. So yeah, just a little bit of geranium rose, and then I believe the base is rose. No, lavender is the base, and then my middle note is rose. So yeah, and I have a little bit of there's a little quartz in there so that I can, you know, give it a little bit of extra oomph. But I call this my Kuan Yin oil. And I just feel like if I feel overwhelmed by energy, if I feel stressed, if I feel like I just need a little TLC for myself, I find that this oil is fabulous for that. So I ended up giving some of these out as Christmas gifts this year. So yeah. Then let's go into my stone for the month. So as you know, I have like an extensive stone crystal collection. So there was a couple that I really loved for January, however, and I'm still loving it. And that is Sunshine Aura Quartz. It's got this beautiful rainbowy color, and I believe this is what a necklace that I had when I was really little. It was like, it was a fairy star. I didn't know it at the time, but it was a fairy star. And I think it was made with Sunshine Aura Quartz. I just didn't know what it was called. And then when I lost it and I was looking for this necklace again, I didn't know what stone to call it when I'm doing like Google searches, because I'm like, I really like that. And it was like considered like my good luck necklace. So the Witch's Moon again had a little thing where they had like a necklace and they had a stone made of Sunshine Aura Quartz, and I'm really excited. So here's the necklace. So I wore this quite a bit in January as well. But yeah, this is the necklace. This is the stone. This stays in my pocket. I wear this one a lot, and yeah, this is probably forever fave, because it's this type of stone was like my fave since I was like 3 when I originally got my necklace that I no longer have. But yeah, so I'm pretty stoked. So I don't know if you want to do a Google search for Sunshine Aura Quartz. Yeah, but it's got that happy like gold kind of tinged with a little bit of like some pinks and deep oranges, which I think is pretty cool. The other stone is, okay, so I love apophyllite, and I have some good, I have like a little apophyllite like tip, and then I have like a good cluster of apophyllite. And I didn't actually know that apophyllite came in other colors. Well, I think it's like rare that it's in a lot of other colors, but I got my hands on some green apophyllite. Oh my gosh, check out this baby. So yeah, there was a sale on healingcrystals.com, and as you guys know, I prefer to hand pick my crystals. So if I'm going to get some crystals, like I'm going to purchase some crystals online, the only website that I trust is healingcrystals.com. They have a website, you know, obviously go check it out. They have a YouTube channel, you know, if you want to check that out, it's just Healing Crystals. You can check it out. The people that run it, you know, the energy that I get off of them, pretty cool. When you purchase something from them, they actually, you know, have said on their channel, like, we have all these drawers full of crystals, and when somebody buys something, like, let's say you bought this, they try to match the vibration of the purchaser with the item being purchased. So I think that's pretty cool. That's kind of like how I believe the Witch's Moon, you know, does their thing when they pull an oracle card every month for their subscribers. So yes, green apophyllite has been my jam. It's a little flaky, the stone that it's, you know, on, but the apophyllite itself isn't flaky, so I don't care. And I'm not really carrying this in my pocket. So right now it's a part of a grid, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in my crystal grid. So I said that I've been really like feeling like the mermaid vibes and the beachy vibes. I mean, I guess I've been basically feeling that my whole life, but there were some necklaces that I wore constantly when I was in high school, when I was in college, and I've kind of worn them on and off. And sometimes I go on these little kicks and I just like go total like Islander girl. I mean, I guess I am part Pacific Islander because I'm Filipina, but yeah, just these necklaces, they're a mix of like necklaces that my my grandfather's given me whenever he well, he's no longer here, but he used to visit Hawaii a lot, and he would bring back, you know, awesome necklaces for me. My aunt, who also is no longer here, she used to go down to the thrift stores, and anytime she would find like seashell necklaces, she knew like they were for me, because, you know, me and like the Little Mermaid back in, like, what was it, 1989 when that came out or something like that. You know, it was all about the Little Mermaid, and I don't know, I've just always been like mermaid vibes, always been beachy vibes. So here are some of those necklaces. You know, family's always getting me like cool like puka shell necklaces. This was something that my aunt had found at a thrift store one time. I love my big chunky seashell. She also got me this cool nautilus. I think this was back in like the mid 80s when she found this one for me. So yeah, I love my seashell necklaces. I don't bust them out a lot nowadays, but sometimes I get on my kicks, and I just want to wear my seashell everything, and I want to wear my beachy everything. This is also another cool one. I think this one I actually found at a thrift store. So, you know, you find all kinds of cool like seashell stuff, you know, at thrift stores. This is one my grandfather got me. Some of them I've had to repair because like little cousins at the time, you know, I'd wear them all the time, and my baby cousins would like yank them off, and I'd be like, seashells everywhere. So some of them have been repaired by me. You know, I've had to restring them, but you know, that's cool. This was from a different aunt, and she got this for me like when she visited Puerto Rico, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like a hand-painted piece of balsa wood, which is awesome. I have some more shells. I have like shells galore, people. I'm not going to show you all of them because I have a really extensive collection of shells. This is probably one of my favorite ones. I wore this one almost every day when I was in college. Yeah, it's cool little long seashell ones. I love my big long seashells, and I just kind of like wear them nice and long, and sometimes I'll just like wear a sarong, or you know, wear a t-shirt and a sarong, you know, or just like wear full-on sarong. But yeah, that's, I don't know, I mean, I don't know, January for the most part for most people especially in the northern hemisphere, it's cold. I'm just feeling the beach vibes. Let's go into books. I have a couple of books. January actually was pretty busy, you know, coming off the holidays, going back into school's back again, getting all my students, you know, just like bring them back up to speed, and you know, hitting it hard again, hitting the books and homework, all of that. My athletes, you know, we're getting ready for track season, so I mean, hence why I'm wearing my track sweatshirt. Their season starts February 12th, so we've been doing preseason twice a week, you know, out there working out with the kids, having fun, basically just getting their bodies like ready for track movements. So we're not like pushing them too hard, just hard enough to kind of like get their cardio up so that they can be ready when the track season starts. So since I've been kind of busy, there's only been a couple of books that I've really had a chance to really dive into, and you know, I love them. You know, they're gonna be faves for a really long time, but I thought I would just share them with you. And that first one is The Egyptian Prosperity Magic, and this is by Claudia R. Delaire. And I received this in the Witch's Moon. Can you tell that I love a lot of the stuff that comes in their boxes? And this was specifically signed for the Witch's Moon, which I thought was pretty cool. But what I like in here, it talks about Egyptian prosperity magic. There's a lot of different spells in here, but this is coming from somebody who has a more Wiccan perspective, but they're talking about, you know, you being able to, you know, kind of mix and, you know, if you have like a certain practice or a certain religion and you kind of like want to incorporate, you know, some of the Egyptian deities, you know, gods and goddesses and things like that, you could absolutely do that and just, you know, tweak it to fit your beliefs and your practices. And I thought that was, you know, really interesting. They talk about the like very briefly, like, you know, in the introduction, about the correlations between stuff that is in the, you know, Catholic Bible and connected to, you know, Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, like all of, you know, all these different ancient cultures, you know, how a lot of the gods and goddesses and ascended masters, you know, how there's like a correlation between a lot of them, you know, and it's interesting. And that's something I have had a chance to dive into before, and I have, you know, books on it. But I like that, you know, it was mentioned here. It kind of goes into the style, you know, Egyptian style of spell casting, but of course, you know, you do whatever. There's a section, let's see if I can find it for you guys, that has a lot of the deities that are associated with abundance and prosperity. So, you know, if you wanted to like incorporate them into your practice, you could do that. Then it goes on into the spells and the oils that you can create, the incantations, you know, just the whole process. But of course, you don't have to go word for word. I never follow anybody's spell word for word. I kind of always make things my own and what feels right for me. There's in the back herbs and essential oils, you know, if you wanted to know kind of what their connections are, you know, like, oh, let's say I want to use holly. Okay, holly. Well, okay, that's for banishing, beginnings, blessings, communication. So, you know, it gives you like some basics in there, you know, if you want to get your green witchiness on. And then, yeah, so it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of things in the back. Talks about where a lot of the supplies, you can get some witchy supplies to help you with this. And I have a Lokester that is playing with a lot of my faves right now. So please do not eat my faves. Loki. So yeah, this is the Egyptian Prosperity Magic. The other book is the Illustrated Signs and Symbols Source Book. And this one is by Adele Nozadar. And I originally saw this on Jesse Huntenberg's channel, and I am obsessed with this book. This is a huge book. There's, it's divided into a bunch of sections. Let me see if I can find in the table of contents what those sections are. Okay, so it's just like all different types of symbols, and it gives you a brief explanation there, you know, because there's so many symbols in here. It doesn't have like room to go into tons and tons of detail about every symbol, but I think it's good for a jumping off point. Like if you wanted to study further into a symbol, its connection to different cultures, how a different culture is interpreted, you know, a certain symbol or a certain meaning, and how like, you know, certain symbols just like look alike. I think that's pretty cool. So it has a world of hidden secrets. So it's like the natural world and landscape. They have the fauna, they have flora, flowers of the underworld, sacred geometry, numbers, sacred sounds, like symbols of the body, symbols as expressed by different civilizations such as the Americas, Celtic divinities, China, Egyptian deities, Greco-Roman deities, Hindu pantheon, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot in here, people. They even have stuff about the tarot, runes. I just passed like the Star of David. There's, yeah, zombies. There's even like, and there isn't a picture for everything, you know, because obviously this book would be like too big to carry if they had to do a picture for everything and they had to go into like a lot of detail for everything. But I think this is a great reference, jumping off point if you wanted to study something in further depth. Like let's say, you know, I keep seeing this like symbol of hummingbird. Either I see it in photographs, I actually see hummingbirds, I see it on somebody's jewelry. I keep seeing this hummingbird. So it gives you a little bit about this symbolism of a hummingbird. So it's great. So I don't know if you guys want to check this out. I don't know if it's at your local library or maybe you just want to buy it used. It actually wasn't that expensive. You know, I got this, well, actually I got this used, and I think it was like, I don't know, it was like $8 or $9, and I think new it was under 20 on Amazon. So this is a big book. So if you're interested, I think you guys would dig this. Pretty freaking awesome. And now what you are all waiting for, and that is decks, my fave decks for the month of January. And the very first deck is my Card Geeks Kipper deck by the Card Geek herself. So if you want to look that up, go to www.thecardgeek.com. So that's the little website back there. I also have the Card Geeks Kipper book, you know, because I thought it's just a system I was fascinated by, and I really think the book does it's really great at explaining the system and making it less intimidating. These are the backs. I just did a review of this last Sunday, so if you want to go check that out, that was on, let's see what's today. Today's the so it was the 3rd, February 3rd. So, you know, if you want to go check it out, go to February 3rd on my channel, or just look under deck reviews and you will find this. What I like is that although this has a more modern take on the Kipper, you know, as far as the pictures on the cards, the imagery and the directionality of the figures in the cards is true to OG Kipper, which I think is pretty neat. So it helps you with, you know, knowing that when you get a Kipper deck, okay, so even though the pictures may be different, you're like, okay, when this person is facing this way, or when this, you know, vehicle is here, you know, this is the movement of the card, this is the direction of the card. Yeah, so I just really love the images. I like the explanations for them, and I've been having fun with Kipper. I mentioned that the Card Geek was Tony either Pule, or Pule, P-U-H-L-E. Another deck that I've really been loving, and actually I've just been using this for daily draws in a couple of spreads, but mostly for daily draws, and every now and then I pull just like a card here and there. But that's the Extraordinary Oracle. The Extraordinary Oracle. I believe this is either the 3rd or 4th printing of it. It's a deck that I hesitated on for a while just because I got mixed reviews on it, you know, on when I watched YouTube. But I'm so glad I did. And the person that actually, like, she didn't physically tell me, hey, you should go get this, but just watching her channel and what she had to say for it was, well, originally Miss Tracy 2, now goes by My Spiritual Shoes here on YouTube. And I saw her review and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get it because I've been loving this for like a couple years now, and before they never reprint it again, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it because it's an indie deck. And I'm so glad I did. I don't mind that the card stock is thin. I think it's fine. It's gonna survive. I really love the color and I really love the images. Another deck that was a fave for January and actually got in January is by Heather Hopes Intuitive. You can find her, she has a website, Heather Hopes Intuitive. You can follow her on Instagram, and she's also on Etsy, which is where I got this. But this one is the Inner Compass Oracle. The presentation when it came out of the box was pretty fabulous. I love this deck. I think that it's very similar to the story cards, and I've actually paired this with the story cards, and I think it works fabulously. So if you have the story cards, I suggest trying to work with these together. I think it's great. You know, you could use it as an oracle deck, or like the story cards, you can use it like to try to, you know, help you with your creative writing. If you have like a little bit of writer's block and you're just looking for a little bit of inspiration, you want to do some character development, I think that this would be lovely for that. Actually, I think like cards in general would be lovely for that. But, you know, something like this, kind of like the story cards, I think would be great. Ooh, that's actually one of my favorite ones. That's Manifestation. But yeah, I think, you know, it's good, sturdy cardstock. The backs are pretty awesome. The images, the collage, the keywords, I have no problems with it. Like, I love this. I love this, dude. Another deck that, this one, again, so these next few I did get in January, but they were faves, you know, and then there was the other two, like I did not get them in January, but they're still faves, you know, so you don't have to have something brand new for it to be a fave. But this one is the New Elements Tarot. I was kind of hesitating on this one, but I saw, you know, it wasn't too much on Amazon, and I had good intentions when I got it. So here's how. Not that you ever have bad intentions when you're trying to get a deck. Oh, by the way, this is by Eleanor F. Piper, PhD. my students, my freshman students, I have like one class of freshman students, they're reading the novel I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai, and I was one book short, and nowhere in the school could we find another copy for one of my students. He was absent the day that we got our books. So I decided to give him my teacher copy, and then I needed a copy, so I had to go buy one on Amazon. But it was like free shipping, free like next day shipping, which I needed it the next day, as long as I spent a certain amount. So hence I got this tarot deck. And I'm so glad I did. Normally I'm one who prefers more color, but in this deck I don't mind that it's this sepia color, that there's a lack of color mostly. I do like the that it's a mixture. I think they said it's got a little bit of the like Aleister Crowley in it. It's got the Rider-Waite-Smith in it. It's got a hint of a lot of other systems in it. So I think it's like a good crossover for somebody who's worked with, you know, other systems. I think it's fabulous for that. Yeah, but I like the, again, more modern take on, you know, very old systems. I love the images, the keywords actually. Usually I don't like keywords on tarot decks, but I like it here. And the keywords, actually, it's not like, some of those keywords, they go along with the Aleister Crowley keywords. So yeah, and some of them, you know, are quite heavy, you know, some of the depictions here. But I think it's good to have decks that have a variety of feel, you know, so that you have a variety of, you know, readings or perspectives in readings, I should say. So yes, dig in this deck. This other deck, actually, I had to buy a nice little tarot pouch for it because it didn't have a box. It was just like shrink wrapped. But I actually got this pouch from my grandmother's hands, which whoop whoop, that's like one of my fave shops forever. I've been purchasing that from that Etsy shop for quite some time now. Anytime I need a new like leather pouch for my decks. Always very reasonable. Like the pouches, sometimes they go for like $16, sometimes they're $20, but these are like handmade and they feel so good and they protect your cards so well. So this deck is called the Ocean's Voice Tarot, and I actually got it off of makeplayingcards.com. So one of my good friends turned me on to, you know, I've printed stuff off of makeplayingcards.com before, and I was like, but I didn't know you could like actually buy decks off of there. I was like, oh, well, that's dangerous. So yes, this is the Ocean's Voice Tarot, and this is by Sibylla Delphos. And there's a lot more than 78 cards in here. There's actually some astrological signs in here. But a lot of these, you know, I can tell are, you know, off the internet, like free, the free pictures. And I'm losing my wording here, but I love the images that were chosen for each of the 78 cards, plus the astrological signs. And like I said, I've been all about the ocean feels, the mermaid feels, so hence, you know, this deck, ooh, the sun, that is beautiful. Ooh, actually, you know what, this one's come up a lot, but it's the Ace of Cups. That must be a good sign for February. Also off of makeplayingcards.com, I got the Victorian Oracle, and this is by Lucretia and Kirk. They have a little store on that card printing website. The box didn't actually look like this, like I decorated it and did all this stuff because it was just a plain white box, and I thought it needed to look a little more spruced up, so you know, that's what I did. So this one is just an oracle deck, but you could tell it's got a bajillion cards in here, and I love decks with lots of cards. It has a beautiful linen finish. I like the backs here. I am obsessed with like Renaissance and Victorian paintings, and this has a lot of it. Some of the paintings are vertical, some of them are landscape. but I don't mind it in this deck. And it's so small. It's actually kind of like, it's a little bit bigger than the inner compass. So it's like playing card size. And you know, when you get them off of like makeplayingcards.com, a lot of those decks really aren't expensive at all because you're getting them like straight from the printing site. So that's pretty freaking awesome. And what I like using these cards for a lot of the time is for spirit readings. And the final deck is a deck that I wanted to get for quite some time on Etsy. I thought it was a little expensive, so I didn't go for it. But then I found it was on makeplayingcards.com, and I was like, ah, and it was less expensive, and I was like, yes. And so that one is the Painters du Monde, and I hope that I am pronouncing painters. Painters? 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 So it's like images of the world or pictures of the world, paintings of the world. Here are the backs again, like small playing card size. I have a loss of words today. Some again are landscape, some are vertical. Keywords again are good. What I like about this one is this one has colors in it. You know, even though it's paintings, it's not like a solid color. So I think that's pretty cool. And it is different images from my other like Victorian, or sorry, here we go, Victorian Oracle. So I like that too, that there aren't repeats. Let me, this type of art, this is my art. I wish that I had this talent for art like this. Oh, so gorgeous. Oh, and the elements are in here too, so this one's air. Oh, it's so wonderful. Okay, so this oracle is by Stephanie Heider. You know, if you are interested, looking it up on makeplayingcards.com. All right, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. Those were all my goodies for January, all my faves. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them. Let me know if you have any comments or questions on this. And the reason I like putting like my faves out there is because it's like, you know, I just want to share with people like, oh, I liked working with this. Maybe you have something similar, you know, or maybe you have something, you know, that like reminds you of something, and oh, well, this was my fave and this was why. And you know, I think it just sparks like awesome discussion. And I never ever intend my faves to be like, you need to go out and go buy like new stuff, you know, because a lot of the stuff here, yes, some of them were new, but most of my faves here, like, they're not new. So anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely February, and yeah. Oh, and I had fun doing the 31 days of tarot, by the way. That was a fave. You know, I think I've been, this is my third like 31 days of tarot, and I was so happy that Ethany decided to do it again. And yeah, making a video a day, that's fun for me. I like it. So I really liked the 31 days of tarot by the one and only Ethany. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And head over to my Patreon page. It's updated. I have a lot of interactive stuff for you guys over there at patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. I have live streams with all sorts of goodies on there. I have mediumship live streams. I have healings. I have guided meditations. I have monthly like crystal grids full of affirmations and how to set up, you know, on your own at home. I have weekly draws. There's a lot of stuff on there, you guys. There's like, you know, like personalized readings, like all kinds of things. Definitely go check that out. And if you want to catch a reading with me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. All right, I'll catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.